at the beginning. This is recorded on Sunday over on all those platforms. Come and see us.
Where everybody in the automotive industry has off on Sundays, that's when you start your engines, Lugnutz, because this is the 267th Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network presentation, and of course, it is none other than Lugnutz.
Welcome, gearheads. This short show, we're going to talk about a Ranger. Merc turns 100. We're going to talk about the limited GTR. And one or two more things.
Wow! We got animations right up top to show you where to find us on all social media handles, as well as the funniest and luggy and nutty moments right up top. Just like last week's Triforce podcast, Super Saiyan He-Man, Mr. Potato Head Famine. It was a very, very travestating famine that happened to the Potato Head people that we discovered in that last podcast.
Okay.
It was devastating. Just like last week's Lugnutz podcast, space truck and independent shifting rod.
All right. Well, we're going to independently shift right over here to the Ranger.
And not that ad.
Yeah, they released the Ford Ranger several months ago. I think there's a picture of the truck below.
And not the family.
The interior of the truck, that's just as good. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about the Ford Ranger 2022.
Yeah.
It is a small pickup for about $20,000. It's basically a Toyota, but $6,000 cheaper.
Okay.
Let's look at that Toyota.
It looks like a $6,000 Toyota from the interior.
There you go. Let's look at that Toyota. The Toyota Tacoma SR is their competition. It's what they're all striving to be. Starts at $26,400. It should be the second lug. That's Triforce.
You don't want to talk about Skeletor? Right.
The Toyota Tacoma SR starts at $26,400. So, oh man, I thought I could see that from here. I guess not. About what's that say? 180 horsepower. I can't read it.
198.
198 horsepower. What torque do we got running?
Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. God damn, let me get closer. It's 159 horsepower and 180 torque.
Wow, that's not bad.
That's the 2.7 liter 4-cylinder engine, which is exactly what you want from that. But the V6, let's see, the 3.5 liter.
Yeah, but
V6
this is
278
we're
horsepower.
Comparing
276.
We're comparing the lowest model because that's where Ford is shooting for.
Oh, okay. So you just have to beat 159 horsepower.
Right. So,
all right.
They released it, and they aimed at younger buyers. We can go back to the Ford.
Sure you don't want to go back to He-Man?
No.
Okay.
And it turns out they are exactly attracting younger buyers. Turns out a quarter of the people who buy this ride are women. Women love this thing.
Okay.
They have a couple of quotes from people. He says, well, I was thinking about an SUV, but this is so much better. It's like a truck.
Well,
it's very similar to a truck, yes.
Yeah, but it's like a stunted truck. Like you plucked the truck from the tree a little bit too early, and it's not a full bed truck.
Yeah. What did I call it last week? A man's SUV.
Yeah. A man's SUV.
Well, this man's SUV has
It doesn't hurt your pride as much. A man's SUV.
Sure. If you want to pretend you have a lot of friends and you have to carry them around with you all the time. But you will need a 2.5-liter hybrid engine, or you get the optional 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with an average of 26 miles to the gallon. But you got to be careful with these chip shortage times. Yeah. 21 is about what you should pay, but you should expect markups of over 10 grand.
Yeah, absolutely, especially
Because
in
a lot of dealers, in the article, Ford says just make sure you're paying. Like, MSRP is there for a reason. It's what they'd like you to pay.
Well, yeah.
Whether you will pay it or not, we're going to switch over to the Ford. The third tab.
Over here.
Yeah. Here it is, the Ford Maverick. I called it the Ranger. I guess not.
It's close enough.
19,995. That's not bad for a truck.
No,
It's
not at
cheaper
all.
It's cheaper than some cars.
It doesn't look bad either. I mean,
what's the torque since we compared it earlier? If you click build and price, it should pop right up. I'm guessing.
nope. Never find out.
No, it does not come up.
Nah.
It doesn't come up. Well, it's 19,995.
29 to 25 miles per gallon. We found that out.
Yep, 26. Well, we'll just have to live in anticipation that MSNBC couldn't deliver all the data.
Right.
So let's go to CNBC and see what the hell is this. Oh, robo-taxis. Right. Robo-taxis are coming to San Francisco, fully autonomous, sort of, robo-taxis on November 5th.
That's the town I want you to test that in. San Francisco, a lot of hills. Okay.
A lot of shit that they have to avoid in the streets.
A lot of obstacles, a lot of stuff. That is the perfect town to test in. Not bad weather, so you can get your sensory perception fine-tuned, and then go to Philly.
Yes, well, they're going to use the Chevy Cruze. They submitted a permit for autonomous vehicle deployment with the California Public Utilities Commission. This is the last of six that they needed to ride on public roads. No word on how long it will take, but it could be a year or more before we see this, which is probably a good thing.
So in about 5 years, Uber and Lyft are going to be autonomous, and you're just going to have all this shit going around.
Yeah, but they're still going to need people because you're going to need, the permit says you have to have a safe driver in the vehicle.
So you got like an 18-year-old stoner teenager just like, welcome, man, sit on down. I'm your driver.
You get, if you've ever been in an Uber, it's not just teenagers. That
no, I've never been
energy.
Never.
Normal people. That's what's in them. Normal people.
That's what that's for. Yeah.
They did get permission to operate on specific California roads from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., even in light rain and fog.
Okay. I mean, light rain and fog, that's a lot of the early kind of trivial kind of
That's the first difficulties
weather conditions
one might have.
Yeah, inconveniences, it's kind of foggy, but your car can still traverse through it.
Fortunately, the Chevy Cruze is what they're going with now. The Chevy Cruze is the second gen. They started with a retrofitted Bolt. But they've been having a fire issue with that.
Well, yeah. I actually follow Elon on Twitter, and it was one of his AI expansion updates, and it was showing, like, real life what the computer is seeing from, like, this busy intersection. It was really fucking impressive. It was really because it was like you could almost tell what the car was from what the computer was seeing just by the shape of the body. It was still like, vague and everything. The computer doesn't need to know it's a fucking blue Lexus, but it's,
they don't care.
It's still you can tell.
If you can tell it's a vehicle, that's a
like you
step
could tell
in the right direction.
it was it was the 350. You could see that, and it was really fucking impressive. So when we're talking about autonomous vehicles like this, and being able to, like this picture, be able to go in there and have a hibachi on wheels going around town.
Hibachi?
Why not a hibachi? That'd be awesome. Like ting,
so.
ting, 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 catching the fucking.
No.
I guess we'd need a little bit more money into infrastructure to feel safe into that.
Well, speaking of infrastructure, we can go on to this next story.
Okay.
Where, if you have the infrastructure, you might like this. This story.
Not that story.
Where we'll go on to this next story where we can talk about infrastructure. Or this little trike that Honda released. It does have. Let's start at the beginning.
I'm not going to lie. It's kind of charming.
It has a charm. That's why I selected it.
It really does. It doesn't look bad.
It's called the Gyro Canopy :E dot.
All right. I
don't know. Canopy for rain protection. It does have a sealed box to protect your things from the rain.
What's in the box?
320 watt max power electric motor with a 48-mile range, priced $715,000, 1,500,000 yen.
That sounds expensive, but
It's like $6,000.
all right. I mean, no, I would.
Or unless you're in China, then it's 1,150.
That sounds a lot palatable.
Or several weeks later, if you waited. Aren't I glad I waited for this story?
Yeah.
It's now only $475.
Now that is affordable.
Yeah,
$475
it's meant for China.
I
There's
would
a
totally
lot of
buy
people
one
over
though.
there,
Like,
and,
meep.
I think China, Indonesia, where there's everywhere motorcycles are popular. I would imagine.
DoorDash. Could you imagine? You would get your DoorDash so fucking quickly with
I
one
don't
of those.
think you're gonna go very fast with 320 watt motor. You know,
You may have to wait for the upgraded model. More horsepower. Toolman style.
Yes, but I think it's a charming little thing, and
Yeah.
look for it in China near you, in the biggest automotive market there is.
That's kind of a kerfucked statement. Look for it in a
Look for it in China, near you.
Near you.
If you're in China, yes, it may be near you, or Japan, or wherever they sell this.
If you're close by, just look over. Take a peek.
Although, speaking of cars, you know who's been doing it 100 years?
No.
That would be Mercedes-Benz. Actually, just Mercedes. Oh, you ruined it. I wanted your...
There we go.
Mercedes, November 5th, 1921, the Daimler Motor Group applied for the first patent for the three-starred logo you see here behind us.
It's an iconic logo.
His sons were fond of the three-pointed star because the star reflected their father's vision for a motorization on land, water, and in the air.
One is by land, one is by sea, one is by the air.
Yes, oddly enough,
He was a fan of Winston Churchill.
1909 is wrong.
Oh,
The Benz and CIE company applied for the Benz logo. You may know them as Mercedes-Benz today. They joined in 1924. They also have a four-pointed star that they only didn't use until 1989.
If you've actually driven a Benz, you know what it's like to just, it's like driving any kind of German car is another kind of experience. When you've driven like American cars and like Japanese cars, drive a German car at least once in your life, and you'll just have a better driving experience. That's
It's a nice
the only
experience.
way I can.
It's not a nice
Not one to own.
experience.
Not one to own.
Lease it.
Leasing is perfectly fine for that driving experience, but then go Japanese or something that's reliable. But it's still something to experience, because when you look at Mercedes and Volkswagen and Audi and all these great cars, it's a true, a car nut's
They're
dream.
wonderful vehicles.
Yeah.
They're fantastic all around.
So,
But what's
call
going to
us.
be wonderful is your reaction to this next story. Let's look at what Volkswagen's doing, huh? Get ready, because here she comes.
Oh.
The Volkswagen Id5. It first came as a concept to us in 2017.
Has somebody been taking psychedelics and...
Oh,
what was that?
that's just the Germans at the North American International Auto Show. It looks very similar to the
What was
concept.
that bubble gum from the 90s with the zebra?
Fruit
It was-
Stripes?
Fruit Stripes. Yes, Fruit fucking Stripes. It looks like a Fruit Stripes van.
Well, you should expect it 2022.
Also, I am very impressed that you knew Fruit Stripes gum.
It's because the logo was what the package looked like.
Oh, well,
And you loved that gum.
I did love that gum.
Right.
It had a zebra.
But it's like other minivans. There might be another photo below, but it's got a flatter front, which I kind of like it, I guess.
It's not bad. I mean, I'm
You're
not
gonna
angry
have
at
to get
this
rid.
design.
You're gonna have to get rid of that tint on the front.
Well, yeah,
That'll never
especially in
pass.
Pennsylvania. That is not going to pass inspection. But the overall, like when you look at the first picture up here, I'm not mad at that fucking wrap on that. I mean, it's interesting. I'll put it that way, but it's not. It's
I
just
know it's
every color of the spectrum in a zebra stripe around
know
a
it's for-
Volkswagen van.
publicity, but
Yeah. Obviously,
This-
Fruit Stripe is coming back.
yeah, this will be an all-electric car on Volkswagen's mobile MEB platform for electric cars.
Volkswagen Fruit Stripe van might actually be the title of the podcast. I'm
Yep.
kind of like that
There it is.
one. Right there. Just
Mhm.
pop that tire.
Well, let's pop over to the next story because this one is quite lovely. I'll say. The Nissan GTR, we're going to get 50 of them. Well, I
Ooh.
say. Nissan's going to give 50 of them to people who purchase them. The GTR they're teaming up with an Italian design team to make 50 cars that are totally customizable by its commissioner
Ooh.
in a totally unique way for each to feel the reigns of the livery and colors.
I like it.
They did one that was green to match like an original green one or something like that.
I love that front end. I don't know why.
For years,
I love it.
that front end is different than the original GTR front end. For most of the body is different. If you go to another photo, you could get if you had a GTR, you could get a body kit that would make it go below, exactly like this one. Now, if you're one of 50, you can get it.
I love that.
It's fantastic. And the variety of colors and
Yeah.
patterns and even from this photo, they have 2 or 3 different. You can let your imagination go wild.
Like both of these are really impressive, but I really like this color style of
with the,
the
yellow
GTR,
there.
yeah.
The black kind of hides all that. There you go. There's the green one.
green. Oh,
Mhm.
that's badass.
This was for, I think in the story it says something about to commemorate one of the original concept cars.
It's still for the audio listeners.
The
It's
back-
almost like kind of cyberpunk. It has a very
back
nice
is-
emerald green with yellow accents on the bottom.
the back is different.
Yeah,
It doesn't have a traditional square window. It's got like a Batman window. Well,
it's like the back got adapted by the Reapers or something. You know,
it's an
it's
odd.
weird.
It reminds me of like a something you'd see in like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the wing. It's
Mhm.
definitely an interesting. You're never gonna mistake it for anything else.
No, never. But it is an interesting concept. But
It's not
I'm
a
really-
concept. They're gonna sell 50 of them, and you can customize it any way you want. Get green, orange, and black for your flyers.
dude, those
Whatever
guys
you want.
that love those supercars like this, and especially when you can customize it, like I was mentioning it to you, the 2020 whatever Nissan or not Nissan Acura NSX
Mm-hmm.
is getting a Type S and it is going to be the last of the line. And the first one sold at auction for $1 million.
That's a lot.
And now you can they're picking colors and different stuff like that they're offering people right now. So you have these supercars to where my point is the manufacturer is looking at these people who are buying their cars and they're like, you know what, man? Hey, what color you want?
It is. They're offering a wider variety of colors. I know for a while it was gray, black. That's it.
But now they're looking at the customer base and they'll be like, all right, now what would you really want for your car?
Now,
and that's what I really appreciate.
Now that I think about it, it was gray, black, and whatever the fuck Dodge.
Red,
whatever
blue,
the fuck Dodge is doing.
Yellow. You'd see an orange with Dodge.
Yeah.
A lime green with Mitsu.
Jeep would always come in bizarre colors.
Yeah.
Green and
yeah. And then you saw
what was it?
recently
It was
the pink.
Bentley had that pink one that Paris Hilton has.
Yes. Yeah.
It sort of causes traffic problems, apparently.
Oh, I mean, it's
because
pink.
everybody wants to take photos. But if you want photos, what you're going to want to go over to is pjandwh.com. Check out all our videos.
There we go. And biggin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check out all our videos. Go over to Walljanger Gaming, and most days, Monday to Friday, 3-ish to 4:30-ish, depending on where the story stops.
Yeah.
You'll find me over there. I'm playing Mass Effect.
Yeah, man. And I heard a little rumor that you're done the first game, going into the second.
I have just started the second game. I will admit the second game is vastly better. I was just the
by
first
leaps
game.
and bounds.
The first game, you just sort of power through, just so you can get all that backstory and.
But was it better than past playthroughs that you would like?
Story's still the same. Still.
I mean, gameplay-wise, I felt it was still better than the first original first one.
I remember that is the original. The first one was the original.
Well, yeah, but they improved the gameplay a little bit for the remaster.
It does not in my memory.
Not enough?
It's about the same in my memory.
Apparently not enough.
They've made it what it was. That's what I say.
That's good enough.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be here next week. Well, that is if there's news.
And you can always find us over here at pjandwh.com. But it doesn't matter if you drive a Bentley or a Yaris. Nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you next week, gang. Drive on!
Link loves this song. On the air guitar.
Hero time. Link the album.
Play on my Changer. Drive on Lugnutz.
We'll see you next week, gang. Drive on!